I want to tell you about a 7-year-old boy. He didn't have a lot of toys in his room, but under his bed, neatly packed, always ready, was a bag, a change of clothes, his favorite book, a small toy, his mom's phone charger. He had it packed himself. Nobody asked him to. Nobody told him to. He had been sleeping with it under his bed for 6 months, just in case they needed to leave quickly in the night. He was 7 years old. I found out about that bag because his mum mentioned it almost in passing during one of our meetings, like it was just a detail, like she had become so used to the reality of her life that a 7-year-old quietly preparing a family emergency bag no longer felt extraordinary to her. It broke something in me that day. She had told me, and she genuinely believed this, that her children didn't know what was happening at home, and that she made sure every argument, every incident, every moment happened after they were in bed, behind closed doors, out of sight. She thought she was protecting them, and I need you to understand something. She was a good mother. She loved those children more than anything. Everything she did was an attempt to shield them from something she herself was trapped inside. But here is the truth that I have seen over and over again in this job. Children always know. They don't need to see anything. They don't need to hear the words. They feel the atmosphere the moment they wake up. They read the tension in the way breakfast is made. They notice when mom's hands are shaking. They notice when dad's car pulls up outside and the whole house goes quiet. They are tiny, incredible, sensitive human beings who are hardwired to read the emotional environment around them for safety because their survival depends on it. And what this boy had done at 7 years old was make a plan. He had looked at his life, assessed the risk, identified what they would need, and quietly prepared for the worst case scenario every single night before he went to sleep. And that is not a child who didn't know what was happening. That is a child who knew exactly what was happening and had decided that if nobody else was going to protect his family, then he was going to do it himself. I think about him a lot. I think about how many other children are lying in beds right now, in homes across this country, with that same low-level hum of fear running through them. Not dramatic fear, not the kind that looks like anything from the outside, and just the quiet, constant, exhausting fear of a child who has learned that home is not always safe. Domestic abuse is talked about a lot, and that is right and important, but we do not talk nearly enough about what it does to the children inside those homes. The ones who are never physically harmed, the ones who never show up in a statistic, the ones who seem from the outside absolutely fine. Fine, that word again. The impact of growing up in a home with domestic abuse without ever witnessing a single incident directly is profound and long-lasting. We are talking about anxiety, hypervigilance, difficulties with attachment, struggles in relationships. As adults, the effect ripples out across an entire lifetime. And the most heartbreaking part of all this, most of those children will never tell anyone because they love their parents, because they don't have the words, because on some level they have decided, like that 7-year-old, that it is their job to hold things together. If you are watching this and something is resonating, whether you work with families, whether you know a family, whether you are a parent or a teacher or just someone who cares, please do not look away. Ask the question, make the referral, have the conversation, because that boy deserved someone to notice sooner, and there are thousands more just like him.